This may be Megan Fox walking MGK because, girl, I got into a deep dive of what he has said and done, and it's questionable to say the least. So this red flag is not just a red flag, it's flashing lights glowing in the dark begging Megan to see it, because that is how big this one really is. Back in 2010, MGK tweeted, "I wish 13, 14, 15-year-old girls weren't allowed to be so hot so I wouldn't feel like such a creeper when I look at them. I'm still 19. Hashtag I'm just saying." So for obvious reasons, this is a big yikes.
You going to jail. You're going to jail.
This wasn't just a one-time mistake he made, because it seems like there's quite a pattern with MGK and young girls, and we will get into that later on. But he obviously deleted this tweet, and in 2009, he also tweeted another apparent joke about a 13-year-old who loved his Transformers tattoo. But at the end of the tweet, he said, "Don't worry, I won't pull," and named a convicted singer who YouTube doesn't even allow you to say his name. That's how bad it is. This person he named has been sentenced because of his involvement with the young girls. MGK also tweeted in 2011 about a Facebook message he received from a 14-year-old and made disturbing comments on what he was thinking about her. Surprisingly or not, these aren't the only comments he's made about young girls. Yup, buckle up your seatbelts and maybe hide your kids. Did you know MGK has had a long feud with fellow rapper Eminem? Because MGK has had his fair share of controversy, especially when it comes to what he says about young women. I know I can't say that without providing any context, so if you don't know, MGK has had quite the beef with rapper Eminem, and this feud originated before the release of Rap Devil. And back in 2012, MGK tweeted about Eminem's daughter, who was just 16 at the time. He wrote, "Okay, so I just saw a picture of Eminem's daughter, and I have to say she is hot as," in the most respectable way possible, cause M is king. So obviously Eminem was not happy with this tweet, and he actually kind of responded in 2018 during an interview about how he found MGK's tweet 6 years later. And he reacted just like how you would expect any father to react to an adult man talking about your teen daughter. Eminem said, "One day, you go down a wormhole on YouTube or whatever, I see a Machine Gun Kelly talks about Eminem's daughter or whatever, then," he continues to say, "I click on it, he starts doing a press run basically about Haley. I'm like, what the? Yo, my man better chill." So yeah, not the best thing to be known for, and this was also just not the last time he made these comments about younger girls. Yeah, we're gonna get into that later on again. Remember when I said we'd get back to MGK's controversial comments? Well, in 2013, he was doing an interview with Fuse, and at the time, he was 23, and he revealed who his celebrity crush was. He said it was Kendall Jenner, who was 17 at the time. And the interviewer asked MGK if he was counting down the days until she was 18, which is an interesting question on its own, but MGK's response made it even worse. He responded by saying, "I'm not waiting till she's 18, I'll go now." Big yikes, but he didn't just stop there, because he kinda dug himself into a deeper hole by opening his mouth again. He said, "I'm 23, I'm not like a creepy age, I'm 23, she's 17 and she's a celebrity, there is no limit right there." Yup, you heard from him yourself, everyone. No limits when it comes to a celebrity. And if you're like, laws are different everywhere, that is true, but when he made the statement, the laws in California, where Kendall lived, stated the age of consent was 18. He defended himself by saying Robert Plant, who was one of the greatest lead singers, dated a girl that was 14. And he kept continuing by naming more artists who dated very young girls as a way of justifying it. But that's far from all, because when you think MGK is a creep, he proves it to you. Okay, this next one could be seen as a red flag or a vampire's biggest dream. So MGK posted onto Instagram on Valentine's Day a few years back with the caption, "I wear your blood around my neck." And the photo attached was a pendant which seemed to have a single droplet of blood in it. But it doesn't stop there, because Megan also confirmed that the two drink each other's blood. But don't worry everyone, she reassured it was just a few drops, not a whole goblet full. Thanks Megan, that makes it a lot better. I'll be sure to participate. Jokes aside, this is not even a red flag compared to the other things on this list, because I mean Megan is clearly in on this too, and if they're both happy doing this blood ritual and it's not hurting anyone except maybe themselves, then I don't see an issue personally, but I wouldn't try this for myself ever. After MGK proposed to Megan, they actually drank each other's blood, and Megan described herself as being controlled, whereas MGK is more chaotic, and in her words, he's willing to have his entire chest open with a piece of broken glass, and would say to take his soul. But when she was asked if this was actually something that happened, Megan said it doesn't happen, maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times. So honestly, maybe this is when I draw the line and add a red flag. When people get engaged, they show off their engagement ring, as everyone likes different styles and looks. The ring MGK gave Megan sparked an interest of a ton of people, but not for its beautiful gems, but rather what it's supposed to do. Just by looking at the custom 2-stone ring, it looks extravagant and expensive, but nothing seems too much out of the ordinary. But that was until MGK revealed the ring bands are actually thorns, because if Megan tries to take them off, the rings are designed to hurt her. Personally, I would like to double it and give it to the next person. Well, according to the couple, love is pain, and with their type of money, this ring probably didn't even break his wallet. It's estimated to be worth around $500,000, but I don't know who would try and replicate this design. And I know what you're all wondering, has Megan ever taken off her ring before? Well, yes, she actually did last year while they were having some hints that Megan dropped that they may not be in a good relationship, as MGK may have not been the most loyal partner. Another red flag there. So when they were split up for a bit, Megan actually deleted all photos with MGK and began following Eminem, who we just talked about earlier. But she was also seen without her ring because she did take it off for a period of time, but they are now together again, so the ring is back on. Before we get into the next point, I wanted to let you know that this would be on a sensitive topic regarding mental health, so please keep that in mind. Everyone deals with their own inner thoughts, and it's not always easy to simply live. But there was one incident MGK detailed in his documentary about a phone call he had with Megan. There was a period when MGK wouldn't leave his room as things got pretty dark. Megan went to Bulgaria to film a movie, and when she was there, he began to get paranoid and was worrying that someone was gonna try to come and end his life. Due to his paranoia, he began to sleep with a shotgun next to his bed, and one day he snapped. During this incident, he called Megan and was freaking out on her as he kept telling her that she wasn't there for him. So he actually attempted to take his own life, but luckily it got jammed. Megan was completely silent, and MGK realized something wasn't quite right. This is a touchy subject that I don't want to get into too much because a lot of it is speculation outside of what he revealed in his documentary, but regardless, hopefully these two are able to work on themselves as individuals and together as well. One user on X saw this article and responded by saying MGK is collecting red flags like their Pokemon cards and has since gained over 130,000 likes. Back in 2012, MGK was interviewed at the BET Awards, and there were video clips from this event that resurfaced in 2022 because of the comments he made about black women. The interviewer, who is a black woman herself, was actually defending MGK for this clip, but let me explain what happened. In the interview, she says, "You recently tweeted that you like chocolate milk. I'm chocolate, you know," which MGK goes on to reference Cassie, who is his mixed race daughter he had with Emma Cannon. And then he made a series of remarks. He first responded with, "My child's black," and he could have stopped talking there, but he didn't, and followed that up with, "Black girls give the best Head and Shoulders shampoo," if you see what I'm hinting at. And the conversation continued there as he kept talking about the experiences he's had with black women and how the way they do certain things is better in his opinion. Before even saying, "You just need to show your skills because black girls give the best 100%. But it doesn't stop there because a black woman actually appeared to have heard what was going on while passing by and made some looks towards them before walking away. So MGK sees this and says some derogatory words about this woman, even using the word dirty to describe her appearance, and continues to throw insane words about the stranger. You can find this video online if you want the full clip and everything MGK says, because for obvious reasons, it resurfaced and people were not happy. Megan and MGK have quite the relationship to say the least, as there's been ups and downs as expected in any relationship. However, a source told Page 6 that the two have been seeking professional help in their relationship before making any permanent decisions. This was back in 2023 when the two were rumored to be on and off. This source said that they were talking to a couples therapist every day through Zoom, and this was a year following their engagement announcement. Megan was kind of unsure about MGK during this time because of all the alleged cheating, as she found out it was hard to trust him. But because she is not one to casually date, she is with MGK because she believes it's long term and she doesn't want to give up on this relationship without putting effort into seeing if it can be fixed. They apparently broke up because Megan found something on his phone which pointed towards cheating, but she addressed these rumors and debunked them at the time, even though she herself was posting some cryptic messages hinting towards cheating. But if he did cheat, red flag. But good for them for seeking therapy, I guess. A lot of people were labeling MGK as possessive and controlling the moment he said love is pain and gave Megan the painful ring. But did you know they would attend a launch party together with their fingers chained, well, together? I don't know why I'd never heard of this until recently, but they both showed up to MGK's nail polish launch, so of course they needed to show off their nail art. They showed up in matching all black outfits and painted their nails hot pink, which you can purchase from MGK himself for $18. But it was their pinkies that I couldn't keep my eyes off of because they were tied together by a double string of silver chain. Honestly, it could be passed as just an odd look, which I think it was, but because of his past with being labeled as possessive, I don't know, it kind of gives a different perspective. Our next red flag was the most recent controversy MGK got himself into because he partnered with a guitar brand for his new signature model. But the public immediately began to shame the controversial design because the guitar is shaped like a rectangular razor blade. It was originally listed for $2,169, but it is actually going for $1,499 now. So on their website, if this is what you're looking for, you're in luck. So the backlash was actually because the public felt like this was him glorifying self-harm, and MGK actually responded to one comment which pointed this out and said, "You show your lack of depth by taking art at face value. This has nothing to do with any of the subject matter you just presented, so no, my friend, you suck." Which for obvious reasons wasn't received well either, but MGK didn't stop there because he kept replying to those who weren't a fan of his guitar collaboration. Anyways, what are your thoughts on MGK? Are things that we discussed a red flag to you? I mean, all things are subjective and I'm quite curious to know your thoughts. Anyways, if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Melanie with InformOverload, and I'll be sure to see you next time. Bye bye.